Alright, welcome back. We're going to do an outdoor edition of Cosmo's Quarantine Cooking. Today we're going to smoke a pork belly, but actually we're going to make pork belly burnt ends. We're going to use a recipe from Oklahoma Joe's. I'll put a link as usual down in the bottom. If you like watching the videos, check out the YouTube channel. I'll put the link in, subscribe so you know when new videos come out. Or obviously you can tune in to Facebook to Quarantine Meals. We'll post it there as well. Today I'm going to be using my barbecue for a smoker. I actually have a dedicated smoker. Here, I'll show you. That's my pit barrel smoker. It's basically a drum smoker. It's fantastic. But for this particular recipe, because the way that we're going to cook it, I'm actually going to do it on the barbecue, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, you know what time it is. Joke time. You know that mouth-watering sensation when you take a steak off and cut into it for the first time? I wonder if vegans get the same kind of sensation when they're mowing the lawn. All right, pork belly. So I have my trusty Costco pork belly here. So for this recipe, you're gonna cut the pork belly into 1.5-inch cubes. And that's really the reason why I'm going to use the barbecue to smoke it versus my pit barrel smoker. If I was keeping this whole, I would actually probably use the pit barrel. It's much easier to, I think, use that for this. So I got some gloves here just so I don't have to wash my hands while I'm outside. Whenever you're handling meat, please use safe distancing or something like that. All right, so again, just about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to cut it just like this. And I'll probably go down first and then cut across to make the cubes. Obviously, everybody knows pork belly is how you make bacon. You cure it and then you can smoke it. I made the mistake actually of not having the fat side up when I was cutting it, so I turned it over because it'll be easier if you cut through the fat first to separate the meat. And I'll just continue. All right, so the pork belly's been all cut up. I just threw it into a bowl. We're actually going to do a dry rub right now. First, a joke. You know, I throw a pretty mean barbecue. Last time was about 28 feet. Dry rub. So I have my ingredients for the dry rub here. Again, this is a Oklahoma Joe's recipe. It's got 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I got a little bowl here. I'm gonna mix all of this stuff in a bowl separately. 1/4 cup of paprika, whatever your favorite paprika is, I'm not sure really matters. 3 tablespoons of salt. And in this bowl, I have a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Okay, with my clean hand, I'm just going to mix that up. So now I'm just going to liberally apply the dry rub to the pork, and I will move it around. I probably need a bigger bowl, but to be honest, you make what? Probably need a bigger bowl, but to be honest, you make it work with what you got. And what I'll do is I'll probably start, I'm gonna dump this in and start transferring back to this bowl once I got good seasoning on them. Now the reason why we cubed it is we're gonna want more surface area, so more sides basically for the smoke to adhere to for this particular recipe. If you left it as a whole pork belly, you would get obviously your 4 sides, but they would be enormous, and when you sliced into them numerous times, they wouldn't have the smoke on them. So certain recipes, you want to make sure you cut the meat obviously in the way that is appropriate. And there you have it. All of the pork belly's got the rub on it. We're going to put it in a tin foil pan. And in the meantime, I'm going to start the smoker up. So this is a Weber charcoal grill. You can buy these smoking boxes for gas grills if you're in a pinch, and if that's something you really want to try. It's obviously not going to be as good as a charcoal and wood grill. But again, work with what you got. So I have a little paraffin lighting cube here. I have some lump charcoal in my chimney here just to get it started. I'm just gonna put this on and let it go for 5 to 10 minutes until it gets hot. And then I've got some cherry wood and some apple wood that I'm gonna put with the charcoal to create the smoke. You really want a sweet wood along with a sweet meat like pork. It really enhances it and goes well. You wouldn't want to smoke it with something like mesquite, which is really more for beef or steak, beef and steak, things like that. So let this go and we'll come back when it's done. All right, time for another joke. This one from Miss Petunia. What happened to the cannibal that showed up late to the barbecue? He got the cold shoulder. Smoke. All right, my charcoal's pretty warmed up. I can actually see the fire starting to peek through the top here. That means it's time to throw it on. There's some other charcoal that's sitting in the bin. I have my wood over here that once I throw the hot charcoal in, I'll put the wood on top. And then I have what they call a deflector plate for this barbecue, which sits on top, which covers basically the charcoal, and that's when I'll put it into the smoker mode. Safety first, barbecue gloves. These things are fantastic. You could use welder's gloves, pretty cheap. Okay, I'm just gonna take this, take the cube, just throw it in, and take off my grate. Throw my hot charcoal in. Get a little charcoal rake. Just make sure it's spread out. All right, there's my wood. Remember, it's apple and cherry. And I'll just spread this out amongst the charcoal now. My handy dandy deflector plate. Okay, now we'll throw this back on. Don't need these anymore. Gonna set my barbecue to smoke. Okay, we're good to go. We're gonna actually, I did forget one thing. See if this is hot. No, this is not hot. Here's the one thing I forgot. You're gonna want drip pans. I guess I can fit 2 underneath here. I guess that's good. Maybe I can fit. Going that way. What drip pans will do is really just keep your grill clean. These thrown on. And I will, you can see all the smoke coming out already. Move these around, separate them. You want some good airflow around the pork. This was a big belly. Alright, there we go. I'm going to close it up. And we're going to get the temperature up just by raising this up. But we're going to get the temperature somewhere between 225, 250, and we're going to let this smoke for 2 hours, and we'll come back after that. What do you think? One more joke? Another good one from Miss Petunia. I went to a vegetarian barbecue party. All they did was smoke weed. 2 hours. See you then. Alright, so it's been 2 hours. Our pork belly is hopefully rendered down. I mean, this is very similar to sous vide cooking. Whenever you get something, either a tough cut of meat or something with, you know, a lot of fat, you want to essentially render that down, and low and slow is the name of the game here. And so let's take a look. Let's see what they look like. Looks pretty good. Got a good crust on them. Alright, so I'm going to take these out and I'm going to put them in. I have two metal tinfoil pans here. All you're going to do is put them in there. I have two just in case. I'm not sure if these are all going to fit on one. Again, you want to kind of avoid the overcrowding. Obviously, I clean my tongs. Again, safety first. Very important. So, why aren't barbecues popular in Italy? Spaghetti keeps falling through the grates. Still getting some good smoke. My drip pans look pretty good. Alright, I am going to use two pans. I think I can hurry this. Whoops. Careful there. So if the first 2 hours were about getting the smoke crust onto the pork, we're going to wrap them in foil, and the next 2 hours are going to complete the cooking process, continuing that rendering process and getting it to where they basically cut through with a fork just like butter. So I'm going to wrap these in foil, put them back on, 250, 275 for another 2 hours. Okay, they're on my barbecue. Another 2 hours, we'll come back, and in the interim, we're going to make a sauce to put in there to make them nice and sweet and savory. So I know we've been making fun of the vegan population for a little bit here, and sincerest apologies. I actually wish I could go vegan. It's just not in the cards, obviously, as you can see, but it is supposed to be better for you. But I do have another vegan joke, which is the whole setup for this. What's the worst thing about going to a vegan barbecue? All the screaming. Another 2 hours. So while I have the pork cooking for another 2 hours, I'm going to actually make the sauce. This here is actually going to be a double order, but I'll give you the instructions for just a single. I put the double in just so I would have some extra. So it is, you're going to use 1 cup of ketchup. Let me get my, just put it in a big bowl. I'm going to use my spatula to get everything out. Okay, half a cup of brown sugar. I'm supposed to use a quarter cup of apple juice, but I don't have apple juice now, so this is just water, which is fine. It's a liquid. I got a quarter cup of honey. Quarter cup of honey. Again, using my spatula to make sure I get all of that sticky goodness out. Love honey and sauces. And I've got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Okay, now a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and then a quarter pounder of cayenne. I didn't have cayenne. I actually had some habanero flakes, so I put like a tiny bit of that in here. You get a little sweet, little heat. It's always good. Get some more sticking to the bottom here. I'll get these out. There. All right, I'm just gonna whisk this up. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to pour it in my saucepan. Again, using my spatula. These things are great. Alright, now I have it in my saucepan. You're essentially going to cook it for 10 minutes. You can even throw it on the grill if you want. No room. I gotta go upstairs and do it on the burner and come back down for a little movie magic. What do you say, one more joke? How can you tell if someone barbecued with dogwood? You check the bark. Almost done. Alright, so we're about 2 hours in. I'm gonna open it up and take the foil off. Got my barbecue sauce. Just gonna cover it. All you need to do is raise the temperature up to 350, 400, and let them caramelize. And mix them up a little bit, get them covered. Alright, so we'll let it go for like another 10-15 minutes, let it caramelize. Alright, so it's been about 10-15 minutes. Smoke. Oof. Take it out. Plate it. Take one from back here, a little nice little smoky one. And really, that's it. That is pork belly burnt ends. Give you a little close up here. Looks really good. All right, I gotta put this back. Okay. We will end with one last joke. Barbecue Pitmaster was running out of charcoal and he was gonna run and go get some more, but guess what? He didn't want a brisket. Thanks, Petunia. See you later.